My name is Krista, and I am a Reiki healer. Some of the first magic my mama ever taught me was with her bare hands. Later on, in elementary school, it would be a pendulum, and the cards didn't come until I was a teenager. But Reiki? That's where my homegrown Arkansas wildflower roots started. That is where the spell book begins. When I started sharing the service professionally nearly 3 years ago, so many shadows came up. Wasn't I too young, too naive, too healthy, not traumatized or trauma-informed or experienced enough? What if I became guilty of spiritually bypassing somebody else's anger or pain? What if I messed up somehow? What if I missed something? What if I was asked to eliminate pain or cure disease? I was so nervous those first few months, but I found my way, my style, my unique magic. I realized that this gift was bigger than me when the sessions began taking on their own life. When my guides and spirit started speaking more clearly to me with intuitive information about the person I was working with, when I no longer relied on routine or ritual because Reiki moved through me differently each time. It was not long before I rewrote the original translated Reiki precepts because the original words, they didn't ring true for healing. And then I wrote my own invocation. And so with every session that I shared, I faced a shadow and offered a magical space holding session for another human, or they walked away feeling like they were floating on air, yet secure enough to face reality and make their juiciest dreams come true. And it didn't matter if it was online or in person. Every single client, they all reported the same thing. I don't know how you did what you did, but it's like you massaged my aura and you're saying the same thing as my therapist, only it makes more sense when you say it, and I feel better, and I believe in myself again. With every session, something was unlocked in both my client and myself. The very real truth is, when we heal, we are not healed alone. I suppose it goes the other way too. Reiki is really how I learned about the student-teacher relationship up close and personal. And it is my goal to be the very best teacher possible for myself and for every one of my students. I have always been an excellent student, and I wanted to be an even better teacher. But the problem is that I got lost in the validation through education game for a little while, trying to widen my cauldron of tools in my efforts to slay those demons, and I briefly forgot what I came here to do, which can easily be boiled down into having an honest conversation over some tea or coffee, or having an herbal smoke with a new or an old friend who is curious about my insights. Can it get way more heady than that? For sure. But it doesn't have to be, and that's part of my magic. Now, I can look at my investments and see my previous insecurities. With every new tool, the imposter monster tried to sneak in and take over, knocking me down into the drama triangle, convinced that I needed to fix or heal the whole wide world of trauma. It was a tall order, even for this manic brain. The good news? I'm not so insecure anymore. I know what I'm doing, and I'm good at it too. The investments I made in myself paid off, with interest included. It still doesn't mean I'm for everyone. There will always be someone who yucks our yum, and that's okay. The even better news? I remember who the fuck I am. I did not come here to heal the world. And this is where I might owe you an apology and need to ask for your forgiveness. Because the thing is, when I forget who I am, I forget who you are too. When I forget who I am, I no longer speak the language of a teacher or a healer, and that means that my students suffer alone with me. And I am sorry if I let you down. I came here to be a healer, not in the raise you from the dead or cure a neurological disorder kind of way. Not even in the convince you to get out of bed when you really just need some deep rest kind of way, but more like in the holistic, psychologically aware, trauma-informed, gonna acknowledge your suffering kind of way, with people who desire lighthearted and shadowy deep self-exploration. I'm a Reiki healer. I help untangle trauma knots and rewrite stories. The people who have benefited the most from working with me in the past have been single mothers, fathers, retired veterans, children, witches, storytellers, and curious self-helpers on the magical path to self-love. Some of my favorite long-term clients found me after years of going to counseling and therapy, and they all reported how well the two services complemented each other. And I gotta tell you, my heart beams from those words every single time. I might not be for everyone, but I also may be the only one for my students specifically. Here I am. I ask that the wisdom of Reiki permits me to become a channel for Reiki's unconditional love and healing on behalf of my students now. Just for today, let me explore anger and frustration with compassion. Just for today, let me be honest about stress and worry. Just for today, let me expand my consciousness and do my work honestly. Just for today, let me be humble and give thanks for my many blessings. Just for today, let me be gentle with all beings and allow me to extend this generosity to myself. And so it is. Let us begin.